introduce yourself if you are?
Okay, sure. So for the first, let we introduce ourselves. My name is Miftahul Assyifa. I'm from University.
You're Assyifa?
Yes.
How do I call you, Assyifa?
You can call me as Assyifa.
Assyifa.
Yeah.
Okay. And my name is Jannatul Amir. You can call me Amir. And I'm from Maritim Raja Ali Haji University. So you can call me Amir.
And my name is Jeremy Silitonga. You can call me Jeremy.
Jeremy, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for your attention, sir. So let's
we continue our topic.
Okay.
Can you, sir, please say name and
Your name,
country
sir?
origin?
My name is Rosman Yasmin and I'm from Singapore.
Thank you, Mister.
Between Bintan Between Bintan.
So first, I will ask you, between Bintan Resort, the city of Tanjung Pinang, and the smaller island you might have visited, which area do you find the most authentic, and why?
I think it's quite obvious that the most authentic will be your villages. I mean, I've been to Desa Pengudang many times. I think 6 times. I like the northeastern part. I mean, in that area, I've been to Panglong, I've been to Berakit, I've been to Trikora, and of course Pengudang. And I think these are about the most beautiful sections for me because they are still authentic. They are in some ways not really touched by tourism. You don't find many tourists going there, unlike in the northern part or living in the city of Tanjung Pinang. They are very different atmosphere. So if you ask me, the most authentic part are your villages. I'm sure there are many other parts that I have not been to. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Have you ever visited Batam?
Yes, many times as well. Yeah, so my last trip, sometimes I travel to Bintan directly because there are many ferry services from Tanah Merah in Singapore to Bandar Bintan Terani. But there are times when I go back to Singapore via Batam, especially if I stay in Tanjung Pinang or Pulau Penyengat. I will find my way to Batam to take the ferry back to Singapore. So I've explored Batam quite a fair bit, partly because it's the main economic center to me of the Riau archipelago, Kepulauan Riau.
Okay, thank you. So we will ask you another question.
Sir, may I have you ask question? The first was your original purpose for coming to Riau Island. What your original purpose? You come planning holiday or business trip or something else?
Okay, my first trip to Batam was when I was working at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, or the equivalent in Indonesia is Kementerian Perdagangan. I visited the industrial parks in Batam. That was my first introduction. But thereafter, I traveled to Batam and to the other islands like Bintan and Karimun, all for tourists, as a tourist. Because of my interest in the area also of heritage and nature, I find there are many places, so you really need to find out more. So nowadays it's very easy to, before going on a trip, to check the YouTube, check social media for recommended places to visit. So in short, the answer nowadays is mainly for tourism.
Okay. Next questions. What do you think about the Riau Islands so far? How do you feel about the atmosphere, the people, and your overall experience here in Riau Island?
It really depends on what the tourists are looking for. I mean, there are people who wants to have all the comforts that they're used to. like nice hotel rooms, restaurants that they are used to. So if you are going to places like that, you go to the big resorts in Lagoy, right? If you have, for me, I look for nature, I look for heritage. These are the two main reasons why, and also for the, of course, for the kampong atmosphere. Partly because Singapore does not have any kampong anymore, right? I like nature, I like to do intertidal walks, I like to go snorkeling, I like the sea. So when I go to Pengudang, I go there and explore the what intertidal zones, what you call Berkarang waktu air Johor. And also with my friends, we explore the mangrove area, visit the islands nearby like Pulau Sumba, we visited the beaches nearby. So it's basically nature. There's plenty of things to do in Bintan. They have very nice coral reefs as well. That's one. Second, of course, for the kampong experience, which I get because I stay in a homestay in Bermuda. I get to mingle and interact with the local people. I get to observe their lifestyle. I get to also follow some of them and visit, for example, the KELOMPOK where they catch fish in the morning when they deliver. I also wonder about the island to see what the kampong lifestyle is all about. Okay, so Bermuda is about that kampong lifestyle and the sea. But if I want to experience and check out the historical part of Bintan, then I would visit Pulau Penyengat and Tanjung Pinang, and also areas, the old royal towns or ruins of places that used to be part of the Johor Riau Liga Sultanate. Yeah, so it really depends on the interest.
So cool.
So have you ever had bad experience when you visit Riau Island?
No, because I would say I'm a world traveler. I have traveled a lot. When I visit a place, I do not have any expectation. I accept a place for what it is and for what it offers, and I take into account the stage of development. So I do not do any comparison. Of course, there are things that can be improved, but it's something that your pemerintah needs to do something about it. Really, if you want to attract the rich, you need to have the right infrastructure and attraction in place. It really depends. Yeah. Do I have? No. Generally, I think people in Indonesia are very friendly, or at least that is the experience I've had on all my travels to the Riau Archipelago. And the fact that I can speak Bahasa Indonesia and I speak Bahasa Melayu, I think that makes traveling very easy around the Riau Archipelago. All you need to do is to ask people and do your homework. For me, there is no excuse for not doing my homework. I know already where to go, who to approach before I visit a place, and in that way, I made many friends. And through this, and my network of friends in the Riau have grown with each visit to the many places. So I'm very comfortable. I wouldn't want to see a problem, except in terms of discipline. I think that people can be better at looking after the environment, like throwing rubbish everywhere.
So
That's not good.
So I'm gonna ask you, sir, what's the best experience or the most beautiful thing you meet or you find in Riau Island?
I mean, really the best experience to me is, to me, when I go and visit a place, I do not visit a place as a tourist. As I said, I'm a world traveler, so I want to experience the life of the ordinary people. I'm not interested in big hotels, because big hotels, big restaurants, that does not give me a flavor or what the country is all about. It's artificial. I have that in Singapore. I don't need that. I want to look for something different, something that I cannot get in Singapore. So in the case of Bintan, because I'm a sea-loving person, I like to go snorkeling. I like very much to go for intertidal walks, which is what you call over there Berkarang. That is my favorite activity. And I also like to explore the mangrove with my friends and foraging for food, like for your kijing or your food, your clams, kerang, and all things like that. Because that is an experience that I cannot get in Singapore. So I look for something which is different. Yeah.
Okay. Gini kan. Gini ya. Aku enggak. Okay. For a first time visitor to Kepulauan Riau, what is one underrated spot or unique local food you would highly recommend that most tourists usually miss?
No, I said be adventurous and really explore on your own. I said first do your homework before you go to a place. In today's world, it's very easy to check out the YouTubes. You just Riau, Kepulauan Riau or Bintan or whatever, all the videos will come out. So do your homework. Straight away you will find new places to go to. So there is no excuse for saying a place is boring or I don't know what to do. In today's world, you need to be very independent and do your homework first. Second, be friendly and ask people, ask the locals, where do they eat? As I said, I don't like to go to places where tourists eat. I like to go to places where the locals eat. What are their favorite food? I mean, of course, in Tanjung Pinang, you need to go to Potong Lembu. I mean, that's one of the iconic eating places. But beyond that, there are many. I always ask my friend, where do I get the ikan bakar? Where do I look for? I mean, whatever kind of food that I want to eat, and what are the unique food of the Riau? For example, I had my first what dish called lentut, right? Lentut in Kepulauan Riau. I had my first nasi dagang in Pulau Penyengat. I mean, these are the kind of things, as I said, you need to ask people, and then you can find all this shit. And on my recent trip, for example, I went back via Batam. I checked the video. There was YouTube about a seafood place by the sea. It's called, I think, Warung Nelayan M2 di Kampung Tua Mentara, Batam. And from there, it's a very nice place, very nice seafood. I'm happy that I found the place. You can get a view of Singapore actually from there across the streets. Yeah. So do your homework, ask people. Yeah.
Ini tanyain makanan atau minuman favoritnya di sini. Gimana caranya?
Sir, may I ask you? You said before you are world visitor. So, what do you think the difference of Riau Island from the other countries?
Okay, the flavor of the Riau Island is Melayu. The Malay culture is the strong point. And there is such a thing as a concept of serumpun because the Malay spoken in Singapore and Johor is Bahasa Melayu Johor Riau, right? The dialect. So there is one thing that binds us. Second is the history. Many people forget our past history. Third, I mean, as I say, do your homework. For me, what's interesting is about the history of Gunung Bintan, for example. There are many old graves which are buried there, which tells you about the connection between, say, Singapore and Bintan. Even the Pulau Penyengat has got links with the history of Singapore. I think the last Sultan of Johor Riau, the last Sultan of Riau Lingga, after he stepped down and he was removed by the Dutch, came to Singapore with his followers. I mean, things are like that. I mean, there are many historical links that makes actually a very interesting place. I mean, if you were to visit also Tanjung Pinang, you look at the Senggarang, the Chinese village, you had the Bugis village. Actually, Bintan, although I said has a strong Malay culture and tradition, it is also a multi-racial place. People coexist side by side in peace. For example, there are many Christians from NTB, Flores, from Buton, living in a village in Penudang, with people from local people, orang Melayu, Bugis, Jawa. They coexist as a community, and I saw that all taking place at the festival, the seafood festival. So I said there are many aspects of interesting multicultural aspects of Bintan as well, which you will only discover if you have a curiosity. What is most important is that we must have curiosity in ourselves to always ask questions, to always check. And my last trip, just talk to people, I make friends. I met a Dutchman, and he was telling me about his ancestors who came from, who married a local woman from Tanjung Pinang, and that there was an old Dutch cemetery, the Kerkhof in Tanjung Pinang. So from that information, on my last trip, I decided to visit the cemetery, and then I realized I forgot that the Dutch had a presence in the Riau. So you have the Dutch cemetery, the Kerkhof, you have the Gereja Ayam, you have all, I think your current museum is located in an old Dutch primary school. So it really depends on the individual if you're interested. Another point I discovered on my last trip, my most recent trip is, I went to revisit the Gedung Lembaga Adat Melayu, because there is a section which houses Malay material culture, like your textiles, your barang tembaga and things like that. But these are the things I discovered by accident, not because I went to a tourism place which tells me of all these places. Many of the places I discovered was because I am curious and I make my own homework. And next to the Lembaga, Gedung Lam is another place which I didn't know about. I happened to just walk into the building, and there you are, you have all the handicrafts and food and snacks of Capri, Kepulauan Riau being exhibited there in a very nice building, air-conditioned, beautiful building, beautiful layout. I wish more people can visit, because there is a one-stop shop for all the products of Kepulauan Riau, and I think that's a place where even all the villagers all over Riau can put their good products there. Yeah.
So maybe that's all our question for you. Thank you for explaining your information when you visit here, and I'm very grateful to meet a good person like you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was thinking that there's great potential for Bintan and Kepulauan Riau as a whole. But the question is for young people like you to be very proud of the place and do your part to also promote. Yeah, I think you'll have a long way ahead and a great future. I wish you all the very best in your studies. So anytime you feel you need someone to ask, feel free. I'm happy to talk to young people as my contribution. Because I used to live overseas, I know what are the requirements and global requirements. Yeah. So all the best to your studies, and thank you for reaching out to me. I met Janna in Bermuda. Were all of you in Bermuda for the mangrove planting? I know Janna was there.
Yeah.
Can you repeat again, sir? I'm sorry. She can
You
hear.
know, I first met Janna in Bermuda for the mangrove planting. So Assyifa and Jeremy, were you in Bermuda team as well for the mangrove?
Maybe we will go there next time.
Yeah, you should go there.
We should go there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And for last, I ask you for your permission to upload this video on YouTube, because we will promote this video as you a tourist from Pemudang.
Sure. But I mean, some of the things I say is, I'm just being frank. I'm just being free and honest. These are just some of my thoughts. They are not meant to be critical, but they are just my honest opinion on things which I think can be done better. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your
See you,
attention.
sir.
See you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.